Matthew 1:10. Hezekiah de egenisen ton Manasseh. Manasseh de egenisen ton Amos. Amos de egenisen ton Josiah. We continue with the genealogy of Jesus Christ. We read, and Hezekiah begat Manasseh, and Manasseh begat Amon, and Amon begat Josiah. Now, let's look at a few things here. You say, well, what are you going to do? Because these verses are so repetitive. I asked myself that too, but then I thought there's a lot of little stuff we can review here. So when we look up the word Amos, right, here it is twice, and we look it up in a good lexicon, it will have this little statement there. Do you remember what that means? We talked about that recently. Indeclinable, right? That's what it means, indeclinable. In other words, Amos is the nominative form, the genitive form, the dative form, the accusative form. It doesn't change. So it's especially helpful then, isn't it, to have this article there to tell us this is accusative, so we're expecting it to be the object probably of a verb, as opposed to not having the article here, and there's a distinct clause, and there is a word with the article, so we know that's the object, so Amos here is the subject, is the nominative form functioning as the subject. So many of these names, because they're borrowed from a foreign language, they're borrowed from Hebrew, are indeclinable. That's not uncommon when we borrow a word from a foreign language to have it sort of frozen. But some of the words are declinable, and we can see that even here in this verse 10, right? We have for the name Manasseh, we have an accusative form here, which is spelled differently than the nominative form here. Maybe it's not exactly what you would expect, and if you look it up in a good lexicon, it will note that this is the accusative spelling. I think there's an alternate accusative spelling as well, but this accusative spelling is found for this name. So just a little simple review there, and it's a good reminder that looking things up in a lexicon, the best lexicon for the New Testament is BDAG, Bauer, Donker, Arndt, and Gingrich. Looking something up in a good lexicon and taking a little time to pick through it, you can learn a lot about words.